Welcome back to the Four Podmen, the wrestling podcast we bring you each and every week on the Dynamo Podcast Network. Head over to YouTube, smash that subscribe and bell notification button. Audio versions of the show are available on Anchor, and if you'd like to contact the show, you can contact us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at TPodman. Joining me tonight for one of our special episodes is always Collector's Corner, where we're getting a number of wrestling fans on to share their collections with us. As always, two good, very good friends of mine, friends of the shop, friends of mine. Been to WrestleMania with these two boys and everything. The Brothers of Destruction, all the way from Dublin. How are we doing, Stephen and Thomas? How are we?
How's it going, Niles? How's it going?
Good, not a bother at all. Great to have you on. This has been a sort of an episode in the making for a while now, so really looking forward to this one.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start, Stephen. We'll start with you first. Sort of pro wrestling. Where did pro wrestling for you kind of all begin as a fan?
In a way, it's kind of we're third generation wrestling fans. Like our granddad used to watch it. His favorite wrestler was Hulk Hogan, and it just kind of went then from my mother. Then she was the Macho Man Randy Savage, father Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and then it just went down from there. Then, so in a way, third generation wrestling fans.
So there was no avoiding it.
No avoiding it at all. It was in the blood.
Awesome. And in terms of your side of the collection, because I know you boys kind of collect together, but in terms of your side of the collection, who are the wrestlers that kind of have mostly influenced your sort of fandom of pro wrestling?
Definitely the Undertaker, Kane, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, all the big Attitude Era stars, Stone Cold, Mick Foley, all those guys, you know, just awesome. That made the Attitude Era what it was, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. The Attitude Era that Peacock now are trying to censor and sanitize at the moment through the network and stuff.
Which is absolutely horrendous. They shouldn't be doing that at all.
Absolutely. And Thomas, for you, Thomas, who are the guys that kind of influenced you? Because I know you have a slightly different flavour to Stephen.
Well, there's the same here, Matt and Jeff Hardy Boy. There's a Goldberg and Sting and all that. Same Triple H, and Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, and everything like that. I'm just been big fans of all of it. Mainly the Hardys. Like, the Hardys have been my favourites for years now. So ever since the Attitude Era and all, watching all the matches with the Dudleys and Edge and Christian, and watching all the ladder matches, and you've seen how better each match as each match went on, how it got even better.
Good. So you like the more colourful high flying, and Stephen likes the more dark death side of things.
In a way, yeah.
In a way, yeah.
Safe to say. So, Stephen, in terms of matches, what matches spring to mind when you think of the Dead Man?
It definitely has to be 1997 with Mankind in the Hell in a Cell. Just that ominous throw off from the cell. Definitely up there, and then Nick just kept getting back up. Don't know how. The two matches where Sean at 25 and 26, 25 I think was the better of the two, because even the build up to that match, it told a great story, and then all the hype that was leading up to the match, it totally delivered to everybody's expectations. To me, it was the match of the night for WrestleMania 25. And then the matches with Triple H at 27 and 28. And what other matches would we be looking at? Any kind of matches with Kane as well, the likes of WrestleManias and the Inferno matches and stuff like that. All the sort of gimmick matches that were put on the Undertaker that just made them work. And then the same with Kane then.
Fair to say that at the time didn't seem too gimmicky. They seemed fairly serious.
Exactly, yeah. Back when kayfabe was a thing. You know what I mean?
Now,
back when kayfabe was a thing.
I know you two guys have a real good Hardy Boys story. Because I went to WrestleMania 35 with both of you. So Thomas, tell us the Hardy Boys story. Before you show us the stuff, tell us about the story, the queuing, the trip up to New Jersey or whatever it was, and the whole day trip.
When we eventually did get up there,
yeah,
the taxi driver wanted to charge us for the tourist fee,
which is $100.
$100 in the charge for the tour rate. So we don't want the tour right there. So Stephen said, we make up a story to get our taxis. We had to stop at the shop right to pick up something. We went to the hotel. We got a different taxi up to the MetLife. It was actually a better taxi driver than the other one.
Mm.
The fellow was talking to him about the wrestling as well. So
Yeah.
So we got up there, ran enough, sitting in the queue, and we didn't know if we were really going to get in or not because they kind of run out of armbands.
Mm.
So there was a big uproar about that. And security and all of they came out and they didn't know where the people were trying to start to fight in the queue. So they were saying they already made a mistake then, so they brought out extra armbands. So thankfully we were able to get one of them when we got in. So
4 hours later, we eventually got in to meet the Hardy Boys.
So this is 2 taxi rides, one trying to rip you off as a tourist. Then you get up there and you don't know whether you're going to get an armband, a wristband to get in. And then you eventually get a wristband to get in. And then there was 3.5, 4 hours in the searing, baking sun of New York and New Jersey.
Oh yeah, and it's different. It's a different kind of heat when you're over there.
Yeah.
Like literally, the sun is just on you. Like normally when you're in Ireland, you can escape the sun.
Yeah.
But
the point shade.
Exactly. But over there, it's just like, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker, right now. Like, you know what I mean?
You're at the open with no shade.
And this fella's head got blistered, and I mean proper blistered.
We ordered a taxi. We were left waiting outside for a taxi.
We got talking to this couple in front of us. They were from England, and we were saying to them we didn't know how like the likes of Uber or Amp worked. So we asked, when we're finished, would you mind if like you helped us out with it? Sure, them two pissed off as soon as they got their stuff signed, and we were left stranded at MetLife stage, and we were like, where can we get a taxi from here? Like, because there was no phone number to call. Like, and the one phone number we did find, your man said it didn't work. So I was like, we're stuck here for the night. May as well be sitting out here with you at Mahoney. We'd be the first in MetLife at Mahoney.
Yeah, I remember after that when you arrived back at the hotel that evening and you were both just burnt to bits.
Oh Jesus!
I just turned around and said, "Nice weather here in New York, isn't it?" And two of us were just scalded, like it's hilarious.
It was like proper strawberry colour. Like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, kick us off. Start showing us some of this collection. So some of these pieces.
So this was what we went with for our time at MetLife. It's the signed pops from Matt and Jeff.
It's very cool. Nice.
Unfortunately, I was after bringing the WWE Championship belt with me, and they were after limiting it to one item per person. And no, not that. Should be there. But Thomas got. I had one thing. I had 2 things. Thomas had one, which was the Hardy Boys, the Twisted Fate DVD cover, which he's after losing. No, that's not the one you got signed. So we got that, and then I had the pops, and then I was hoping to get I took the case over, and we'll find it. We'll come back, and then unfortunately, it was limited to one item per person, and I would have liked him to get the WWE spinner belt signed by Jeff, as he held it. So that would have been a good thing to get signed by him. Obviously, I can't just pull it away from Matt. I have to say, you kind of have to sign this too, because you're sitting at the table. I'm just like, this is the first time you're going to hold this belt and then just take it away from him. So, and yeah, that was 4 hours. But the day before it, which was what we should have said as well, the day before it, we're on our way to a Legends event in the Hilton Hotel. Thomas was after taking a bad fall, and we didn't know if we were going to be able to go to MetLife the next day, but he was adamant. He said, no, I want to do this. So I don't know how we stood for 4 hours with a supposed cracked rib, but he did it anyway, and there was no whinge and there was no complaining. Now, I don't know how it was whinging like a motherfucker.
If I remember right, most of the whinging and complaining came from you, and you weren't even in any pain.
That's what I said. I was whinging more than he was. I don't know how I done it, but I was whinging more than he was.
Awesome.
Someone that asked me, "Sure you want to leave the house?" I want to meet some legends anyway.
Yeah.
Just try and stick the pain there for as long as I could. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another thing we have to say as well. Tony couldn't have been more of a help on that day.
Yeah.
Even if he wanted it, I don't think he could have been more of a help, like just being with him and stuff. Jay just pissed off somewhere else. I was kind of glad he went his own way.
Anyway,
But Tony, yeah.
show us a
You
few
what?
more. Start showing us a few more pieces there.
It's the 50th year. Oh yeah. This one, it's a bit smudged. This was one of the items that we were signed.
Yeah,
It's a
Jake the
signed
Snake.
pump by Jake the Snake. It got smudged a bit when I put it into the bag because the pen wasn't exactly dry yet.
Yeah.
And it looks like a snake, so that's the way I'm looking at that. So it looks like a bit of a snake. So, and then we have a 50-year collection here signed by 3 superstars. The top one there, Sergeant Slaughter, R.I.P. Roddy Piper in the middle there,
Yeah.
and then down the bottom there is the leader of the whole train himself, the Godfather.
Nice. Interesting.
The Godfather
Interesting combination.
There you go. And the Godfather actually, I'd asked him about the Undertaker, and he said, I literally just got off the phone with him 1 minute ago, but he said, hang back, he said, I want to show you something. He said, when I get through finishing signing with these people, he said, I want to show you something. So himself and Thomas, he brought us in behind his table, and when he finished giving the people their signings, pulled up a picture from the 80s when he was the Soul Taker, and you see the Undertaker with his big ginger mullet. And he said this was when we were forced to tag team, and he said I was the Soul Taker back then. And he said they literally just threw the 2 rookies together and hoped for the best. So
Awesome.
that was a kind of a cool thing to be shown anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, absolutely. It's lovely when you get one of those personal moments at those events. Like, it's pretty cool. And plus, for 2 rookies, they both did all right, didn't they?
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly. They did.
What's up next?
Next would be These are just 2 very different Funkos. Gonna be mostly pops. So 2 different Undertaker pops, as you can see.
Nice.
One with his hat, and then that's his WrestleMania 28 gear when he fought Triple H.
Yeah.
So 2 very good boys from Smiths, and was happy to get them. Didn't think I would ever get that anywhere. I thought it was gonna be looking on eBay or Pop Culture or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
So as you can see, big Undertaker fan. I suppose the next thing be, it's heartbreaking to show it, but it has to be shown. It's the end of the streak edition of the streak, which comes in the collector's coffin. It's number 0330 or 25 of 2101.
Nice.
So haven't watched them yet because it's still kind of heartbreaking to watch how much work.
It's cool set to have, the way it comes in the casket and all that. It's really cool.
Exactly. And in actual fact, my girlfriend was actually going to get me that. And she said it to me. I didn't know whether you had it or not. I said, I've had it for ages. You know, I get the whole club, so I know you have it. So I'd have got it from anywhere.
Nice. What's up? So, what's next?
Next would be this WrestleMania 36 commemorative Undertaker versus AJ Styles Boneyard match black.
Nice. Yeah.
And it has a
capsule.
Piece of the door in it.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And that's kind of a good thing to have because it's Taker's last match, and what a match to go out on, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was very well done. The editing of it was very good, and it looked like just like a B horror movie, you know.
Yeah, it was great. When they went back and did the documentary and they gave us some background information to it and all, it was really, really cool. Like,
it was kind of good and sad, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that he got
good
through, and of course, AJ was a great opponent as well to have. Like,
yeah, yeah. I don't think you could have gotten anybody better to go out on, you know. So that's my opinion.
He got a lot better. anyway.
Yeah, he got a lot. Exactly. Yeah, that was a horrendous match. Unfortunately, we were in attendance for that.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't understand that match.
Yeah.
You deserve better than that.
My God.
That match was
Yeah. And from to go out losing as well, that was just,
Yeah.
didn't like that at all.
What else? What else have we got?
I suppose, look, keeping on the last ride. Speaking of that, the Blu-ray
Super.
comes with a couple of pages of the Undertaker graphic novel, which I actually have the full version of,
Very cool.
and also comes with the signed Undertaker picture.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
very happy to get that actually.
Yeah.
That was definitely a Blu-ray that I was getting for the collection. Like, so happy with that. And the inner case is kind of cool too, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Undertaker's
watched
artwork. His artwork is always brilliant.
oh yeah, just that the purple light and all. It's just it kind of messes with your eyes a bit, but when your eyes come to, you're like, "There's the Undertaker."
Yeah,
that's the way I was the Raw after Mania. Anyway.
Yeah, that was kind of nearly a bigger deal to you than Mania itself, really, wasn't it? When he came out on Raw, like, yeah.
I was kind of hoping to see him at Mania because I could say I saw my favorite wrestler on the biggest stage of all time, WrestleMania. But even to see him on the night, the Raw after Mania was equally cool, you know.
Yeah, and hats off to Elias as well. He was brilliant on the night.
Yeah. Like the next one to interrupt me is a dead man. Yeah. Perfect cue, like.
So good.
Yeah.
I suppose the only thing about that night was the Grey Goose and Cokes was about $28 a pop, so it was an expensive night for us.
Wow. Which we didn't drink, and we could also the bus after WrestleMania. We were waiting. What was it? 3 hours for a bus.
Yeah.
Got drenched.
Pissings of rain, and again,
rain.
Just like the sun, the rain is different over there. The guy went out, as you know, went out in Undertaker gear, long black coat, bandana, big evil t-shirt, sunglasses. Went out looking like Undertaker. I came back looking like Sting because my hair was just drenched.
Unreal. Any other pieces to show us?
Yeah.
Keep them flowing.
We have this personalized Undertaker signature belt.
Oh, lovely.
Which was one of the first that was made for him.
Yeah.
And it has Dior and all his nicknames: the Dead Man, Phenom, the Lord of Darkness, American Badass, Big Evil, and the Last Outlaw, which I think is probably his most fitting nickname out of them all.
Yeah, lovely belt.
The next one is equally nice, maybe if not more nice. Is the custom Undertaker Winged Eagle belt.
Yeah, beauty.
Like that.
So nice.
So,
yeah,
absolute great find. Happy to get that. The weight of it as well. I think most of the weight just stems from this little piece here. Yeah. But I like the way it has the rest in peace on it.
Rest in peace, yeah.
So,
very, very, very cool.
That was and it's fucking heavy too.
Yeah.
So. Do you want to show this bit because that was supposed to be yours? Jump back to what we were going to show you earlier.
Yeah.
Which was the
Matt and Jeff Justified DVD that like I said, it was actually the first Hardy's DVD that I got.
Yeah. Sister got it from for Christmas one year.
Sister actually bought it. I was actually looking around for a while and I couldn't find it, so the sister bought it from me. It was the first of many Hardy DVDs that I have, but I thought I'd get this one signed because this was the first one I ever got, so I was ready to get this signed by the two of them. So it was a great day, apart from
the heat.
Apart from the heat, the sun for hours, but it was worth it at the end.
Yeah. And people say fans don't pay their dues, huh?
Yeah.
No,
no. Sure, yeah.
Head is still healing.
Anything else to show us?
Yeah, we have the World Heavyweight title belts, which was the second belt that we got.
Nice,
my
big gold.
The best belt that WWE has ever produced.
Yeah.
We have 3 signatures on this. 1, RIP, Road Warrior Animal.
Yeah.
We got that signed in New York. We have Stardust,
Nice.
purely because. And then the fella himself, Sheamus, right
Nice.
there. Fergie Devitt signed it up the top in gold 10, but like a gobshite, it came off. It was signed there by Fergie Devitt, but it came off like I don't know why it came off. And then we have like vast collection of wrestling games, and we won't show 2K20 because that was an absolute train wreck. Yeah.
So in terms of what you're watching at the moment, are you watching, is it purely WWE and the old WWF stuff, or do you watch a bit of AEW and a bit of NWA? Do you watch a bit of everything?
Well, I haven't really watched WWE properly for a while because like the way I work, I'm up at 7 o'clock every morning, so I can't stay up till 4 o'clock every Monday watching Raw, and I see snippets of AEW, the likes of Darby Allin, and I know the likes of the Inner Circle and MJF and Sting and all that kind of stuff, and the talent that they're bringing in as well. Like, if AEW manages to sign Braun Strowman, I think that's the biggest loss that WWE would ever have.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
So in terms of wanting to meet wrestlers, who's left on the bucket list to meet? Obviously Undertaker, but I mean,
Taker, yeah.
Outside of Taker, who else would you like to meet?
Outside of Taker, you want to go ahead, because I think I know who you're going to say next.
I'd probably say Sting, probably mostly. Yeah, I think to beat Sting. The Hardys was the big one. Like, I wanted to see the Hardys per se. You're good to see Sting as well. Awesome. If you can get someone there DVD signed, you can get someone's DVD signed for him as well.
Some would say the combination of the two is the WrestleMania match that we never got.
Exactly, yeah. Undertaker and Sting.
Exactly, yeah. The dream match that never happened, that never will happen.
Exactly, yeah.
Never say never.
Well, Sting has always said it. If he was to come out, like when, say, Taker was still under a competitor's contract with WWE, if he was to ever come out of retirement, it would be only for that match. It wouldn't be for anybody else. It would only be for Taker.
It'd have to be a marquee match, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
WrestleMania has to be WrestleMania.
Or even at a Saudi pay-per-view. But you could kind of start it at a Saudi and then keep building it, really.
I don't really like those pay-per-views. They kind of their throwaway, if you like. They don't have that sort of real kind of that sticks with you through history. So here's a question for both of you then. If they did meet up, who's getting the win?
Taker.
Thomas, who's getting the win?
I'm going with my boy. I'm going with Taker. Now we've had conflictions in the past, like when we say Taker and Jeff Hardy have faced in their matches now, like
but the first match being for
the
Continental title.
No, the Undisputed
Belt in the ladder match.
Yeah, and I think that night, as I said, Jeff gained Taker's respect, because even though Taker was the heel, he still raised Jeff Hardy's hand that night in respect. And just like he said to Shawn Michaels, one tough son of a bitch.
Very good. Thomas, with Sting, are we Crow Sting or are we Surfer Sting? Or does it matter?
I'd probably go for the black and white Sting. The Crow Sting would be the best. Say the black and white Sting, yeah.
So if they did deliver the marquee match, it'd have to be Undertaker versus the Crow Sting.
Yeah, it'd have to be, yeah.
Awesome.
That version of them, yeah.
Any more last pieces you want to show us?
Thomas just had to pulling up a picture here. This was from yeah. It was, remember when OTT had the two night shows at Halloween, got the Wrestle Con, and we had pictures of when we met Abyss and when we met X-Pac and Rhino and Mr. Anderson, and we've t-shirts outside hanging up on our wall of when I met James Storm, and when we met Roddy Piper, and when we met Sheamus and stuff. But this picture Thomas just pulled up for me here was when we dressed up as Undertaker and Jeff.
Very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good.
And that was that was going to the second night of the Wrestle Con. If we'd have got there before the Conquistadors, we probably would have won the best dress that night. But the Conquistadors were there to kind of won the crowd over.
God. How did Undertaker and Jeff Hardy lose to the Conquistadors? Someone explain
I don't
that to
know.
me.
I haven't got a clue.
That's worse than the Montreal screw job.
Exactly, yeah. And I think Thomas might have the picture. We took a picture with the Conquistadors because I think they had the tag belts as well. And I challenged them that night. I said, Taker and Jeff versus the Conquistadors in that ring for the belts, but they wouldn't go for it. They wouldn't go. Fortunately, they wouldn't go for it.
They knew they'd lose.
You what?
They knew they'd lose.
Oh yeah. The only thing is I'd have to wrestle in my coat because the way that was, it was like the chest was sewn onto the jacket, and I had to kind of put it on like a t-shirt. But I've since put the front piece over, and I've used that as a jacket. So, but this was from 2016 actually. This is the picture with the Conquistadors. That was the picture with the two of them.
Awesome picture. So good. Excellent.
Because they were sitting where the stand is there. That's where they were sitting behind, just there. So they were sitting there ringside.
Awesome.
So I think they kind of won the crowd over with just being there, you know. Another picture here actually. She has all these pictures dated and everything he does in the files and stuff.
Very organized.
This is when we met the Monster Abyss.
Nice.
Joseph Park, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm sure you have. Yeah.
This one was Sean Waltman.
There's where we met X-Pac.
Nice.
So we have the signed picture with X-Pac somewhere in the vast collection. Like there's a lot more to be seen. Like that's only
Signed Rhino t-shirt as well. And
like that doesn't even scratch the surface to it.
Yeah, but as we say to people when they come on, like we only normally come on for about half an hour or so. It's really
yeah.
They're only really tip of the iceberg stuff, really. You could be pulling out stuff all night, really, to show people.
Exactly, yeah.
DX DVD, all everything else.
Just the DVDs alone, like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, lads, absolute pleasure as always. Great catching up. Haven't seen you in a while, obviously, with COVID and stuff like that. I've seen Thomas a couple of times, but I haven't seen much of you until recent times. Absolute pleasure. Yeah. Thanks for taking the time to come on. As always,
no problem. Dynamo
Podcast Network on YouTube for all the videos. Hit that like, subscribe, smash, share, the whole lot. Anchor for audio versions of the show. And we will catch you again real soon. Cheers, boys.
Thanks very much, Noilish. Keep on rocking.
Yep.